Folks, the protests that took place over the weekend across the country tied to what took place in Ferguson and Mike Brown. But what you also have, though, is a massive social justice movement taking place because it goes beyond Mike Brown. You also, of course, have John Crawford in Ohio, Ezell Ford, Los Angeles, Eric Garner in New York. You have, of course, Victor White III in New Iberia, Louisiana, Chavis Carter in Jonesboro, Arkansas. So many cases involving African Americans, namely African American men, who have been killed at the hands of police. Now we have a 12-year-old in Cleveland, Ohio, brandishing a toy gun, shot and killed by police more than a week ago. Here's the video that was shot across the street from the recreation center where Tamir Rice was actually outside playing. A 911 call placed there said there was a young man who was playing with a gun, pointing it at people. You see the video right there. In the call, they said, likely a toy gun. Yet the police dispatcher never relayed that information to the officers on the scene. In just a moment, you're going to see these officers roll up, literally pull up, jump right out, shoot and kill him. The officer said he yelled 3 times to the young man, put the gun down. Yet it was 1.5 seconds, 1.5 seconds from the moment they arrived and the gun was pulled. 4 minutes also went by, and no first aid was administered to the 12-year-old. It wasn't until an FBI officer happened upon the scene that first aid was applied to this young man. Earlier, I talked with State Senator Nina Turner of Ohio. This is what she had to say about this tragic death. All right, we're going to have that for you in a second. We'll have Hilton Smith of the NAACP as well. I want to bring in my panel right now. Avis Jones-Weaver, President and CEO of Insight Unlimited, Francisca Chambers, journalist with the Daily Mail, and Law and Victoria Burke of Politic365.com. So now we have the Nina Turner bite. So please play that, please, with State Senator Nina Turner of Ohio.
It was very obvious that Tamir is a 12-year-old child, and I think that's very important for us to put out there. Not a man, not a male, but a child, and he was out there playing. I mean, yes, the 911 caller did see what looked to be a real gun. There's no doubt about it. But when the police roll up on young Tamir, he didn't have a chance. I mean, he didn't know. It's very clear that he was in his own world, and you're absolutely right. This screams the loudest that we need national attention to this.
We'll go to our panel now. The police officer said, I couldn't tell that was a kid. That he thought that that was a grown man they were driving upon.
The cover-up started the minute that he phoned in and said, this is a 20-year-old male that's down. Because any discerning human being that looks at that video, even from the distance that we see that child from in the video, can tell that that's a child and not a 20-year-old man. The cover-up started from the beginning, and it still hasn't ended.
First of all, folks, do me a favor. I want you to play the tape again, and as we're talking, because here's what you talk about procedures. Mm-hmm. What jumps out at me is that the police car literally pulls right next to what looked like a gazebo, okay? Not on the street. And so if you're a police officer and you hear someone's brandishing a gun, do you literally pull that close up to, I mean, you're gonna see the car in a second, they're literally driving straight up, door opens, boom, shot fired. Right. Francesca, the cop says, I yelled 3 times, put the gun down.
Well, I obviously we don't have audio, so I cannot speak to whether he did or didn't say this.
Do this right here, okay? I'm gonna time this. I want you to say 3 times, put the gun down. Okay. Go.
Put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down.
Now.
3 seconds.
That's 3 seconds. He's talking about, I yelled 3 times, put the gun down, and I fired a shot. There is no way in the world this police officer could have yelled to this 12-year-old 3 times, put the gun down in 1.5 seconds.
I would agree with you that based on the video that you just showed and the way that it looks like the car pulled up very, very fast next to him and shot him immediately after getting out, that does not seem to be the case that he could have possibly done that based on that specific video that we just watched.
Lauren.
I'm not understanding why the African-American police chief and the African-American mayor in Cleveland don't do what they did in New York after the Akai Gurley case that just happened 2 weeks ago in Brooklyn, where a rookie cop shot this kid in a housing project for no reason. And the police commissioner just came out immediately and admitted it was a mistake. Came out immediately and said there was no reason this person should have been shot. Same case happened in New York about 6, 7 years ago with a kid named Tim Stansbury. He was shot on a roof. Cop came from the roof, just shot him. Cops came out, Ray Kelly at the time was the commissioner, and admitted wrongdoing, admitted it was a mistake, admitted the person should not have been shot. There's no shame in doing that. There's no shame in Ohio in saying, hey, look, we made a mistake. Rookie cop, look. And they're going to have to prosecute that. I mean, they're going to have to do something about that.
Same thing happened in Charlotte when Wes Carrick shot and killed Jonathan Ferrell.
Exactly right.
Jonathan Ferrell had been in a car accident. Then he had knocked on some doors, seeking some help, seriously injured. When the cops showed up, he's running to the cops like, thank God, I need some help.
Right.
Carrick shoots and kills Jonathan Ferrell. The police chief, an African-American, says, I'm sorry, this is not a justified shooting. He was immediately arrested.
But I'm thankful, I was just going to say, I'm thankful, though, that you have that surveillance tape so that the audience and us can see what actually happened, because in so many cases here, there are not surveillance tapes.
That's what's actually really scary. How about the cases we don't have any tape?
Right.
See, we're about to get the Eric Garner decision. That's on tape, a person effectively being strangled by a cop on the sidewalk. And we have tape, we have footage. We had footage of Rodney King, and everybody sat there and said, so what? I mean, sometimes you have the footage.
But here's the difference. In this case, and in the case of Eric Garner, we see the beginning of the discussion. We see Eric Garner actually alive, talking to the cops. Then we see the chokehold, him being taken down. And so part of the problem with defense attorneys with Rodney King was, well, what took place before the camera started, whatever. No, we don't have that problem in this case. And so hold tight 1 second.